Greetings and salutations, Internet. Here was some sad news, especially if you're a lover of justice and freedom. Lindsay Graham is dead. Lindsay, ladybug Graham. You know, it's a cute story. I didn't know how Lindsay got the nickname Ladybug till recently. He had to die for me to realize how great he was. Um, but I thought they called him Ladybug, because he's like a pederast. He seems like he's always trying to get some skirt. He's a clear playboy. I know the tendencies when I see him. So, he's like, I thought they called him Ladybug because he's bugging ladies. Boy, was I off. Apparently, it was a male sex worker coined the term for him. Apparently, he was checking Lindsay's taint area, and he thought it was dirty, and he tried to clean it, and then his grundle, the area from his nutsack to his anus. Lindsay was like, "No, you worried about those? No, those are my little ladybugs." He called them that, in the very masculine way Lindsay has of saying things. And apparently, this male sex worker was preparing Lindsay for countless heterosexual sexual encounters. One can assume, from Lindsay being an unassailable, unquestionable person of moral integrity. That's why he was so connected with Israel. He loved Israel. Israel is just so happens to be, a safe haven for so many pedophiles, when rapists, just the most vile scum of the earth. But Lindsey Graham, he's cool with him, but he was a good guy. No, and I'm not saying this because I would never celebrate his death, and there's a lot of people doing that. It's a wise man to not celebrate someone's death. Instead, mourn their life. Try to undo all of their life's creation. Everything that he gave us, we need to break it apart, dismantle it, create something better. So it's just he died of a sudden illness while he was out in the Ukraine, and it was it was starting to be investigated, but it was peculiar because it looks like one of these nations, possibly all of them involved, coordinating, have taken out our beacon of hope in Lindsey Graham. They took him out before we could bring him to justice and watch him suffer. Like, we deserve to keep him alive. Give him blood transfusions if we have to. But he has to suffer. Can't just be like no, this motherfucker's a war criminal. Like, he has to pay. We got to find out where the bodies are buried. So Russia, Iran, China, Ecuador, anybody who's had anything to do with this, we are going to establish forces, and we are going to unite our funds and send you guys some kind of a gift basket, maybe some kind of flowers. We don't want you got any allergies? Maybe you should put together a list so we could avoid offending your senses in any way. We want to just show thank you. We've been trying to neutralize these threats for a while. It's been hard to bring them to justice. To the people who they're talking about going after more people involved in this ring, the Epstein class, the people who are above justice. Ones we can't, if we brought them to justice, our entire government would collapse because everyone's involved. It's a big club and you ain't in it. So since America can't do it, We can't be. We can look around the world. Other nations are doing it. Albania has stood up to Trump's family and their purchasing of their land as soon as they tried to do it. As soon as they started seeing the fences being erected, they started bombing that shit down. We have the issue of just like it's hard to unite. So many people are scared to get with people who look different than them, and it's shameful for me because it's just like a lot of the poor white people, like you benefit nothing from the folklores, that the myths that you believe. Like you people can't contemplate, can't understand, like everything that we were taught in schools was bullshit. That's why I grew up. McGraw Hill books prevalent everywhere. Taught us that Columbus, he soothed the savages. Like we brought civilization here and all that. That's like a bunch of propaganda from Israel, because we have the same folklore. We're built on the same bullshit, and they want us to buy into these narratives. But it's just like a lot of the people who really uphold the system that doesn't suit them the most. They do it because they see themselves in the as the builders of these debt prisons. So they're like, yeah, I'll happy sit here with everyone else because and this is when they say you'll own nothing and be happy. It's when you have this mentality of, I want to see the people around me suffer. Because yeah, I'll have nothing, but as long as Tyrone and Jerome, they got nothing, I'm good. Like they got less than me. I get creature comforts. Maybe I'll get a whites only water fountain. I won't have enough to feed my kids, but that I get free water. um, yeah, and it's just like it's a lot of this mentality goes into people, not wanting health care for everyone. You tell someone, hey, you get that heart transplant for free. We get healthcare for all. They'd be like, yeah. They'd be like, but you do that, Jerome's also going to be able to replace his knee, and Marquez is going to get his hip surgery. Like, nope, I'll just pay. What's only 100,000? I'll mortgage the house. I want them to suffer. And there's too many people with that mentality is what draws us back. Call them retarded. Not because they're mentally retarded, socially retarded. They're mentally retarded probably as well, but so they're retired. They're retarded for the society. they hold us back. We should have a focus on attack on the actual people in power. Yeah, you turn your focus on people who ain't did shit. Nothing is benefited. It's just like they look different. Let's hate on them. Distraction, distraction, distraction. You know, what does a Somali refugee got to do with anything? And it's just like we got the biggest, the richest person, trillionaire, is an African migrant who got rich off of welfare. but people can be like, no, but Somalia. Look at Somalians. Look at that over there. It's like one person took more than all of them combined. And it's just like we got all of these corporations that should be out of business, but instead they're able to dictate what you have to inject in your arms. They could set up society, could shut down all businesses except for the major corporations. Yeah, the game is not broken, it's fixed. Hey Nate, how do you do, Scooter Rothschild? That's crazy. I got a video talking about the what you call it, the Jared Kushner, criticizing him because he has like connections with the Rothschilds. That's how he found out about that Albanian war bunker that they wanted to buy. Like he's out boating with Rothschilds. And I'm critical of him. Like, this motherfucker gets to hang out Rothschilds. My family's responsible for all banks. Nothing to do with Judaism. No, I don't think any of these people focus on religion or what kind of hat a person's wearing. But I met someone who said they were Rothschild in person. Weird as fuck. Dude was weird as fuck. It's saying all kinds of crazy shit. Trump was our last president. This was before he got in the first time. But it was just crazy. Um, but he never told me what island I should buy. Um, but yeah. But now I got Rothschilds watching me. Hopefully not a real Rothschild. But if you are a real Rothschild, just give me $1 billion. I'll show you how to live off the interest. I just keep it in account for 1 year. I live off the interest of that. Donate the rest to housing. It's just like that's the real flex. Give away $1 billion. Show people like motherfucker like Elon Musk. The absurdity. This motherfucker being in charge of the Department of Government Efficiency. And he's like cutting programs, all this. Look at all this waste over here. Look at this waste over here. Soon as he leaves, this motherfucker becomes a trillionaire off of just government subsidies, theft of, and it's just like we get less choices. You can't go buy the shit they have in China. He works with the government, the Epstein network. That's why I always support Iran. Always got an Iranian flag because they call it not the American war, the Epstein war. If they going against them, like that's my teammate right there. You know, much support to Iran. But the it's just like it's all kinds of government support to the most worthless people, the most worthless people. Elon Musk. It's video you can go watch on Netflix.net. I think the video is the White Minority Report. Got his daddy on there uh, saying it himself. When he was a kid, Elon Musk's teachers came up to his dad. They were like, "Yes, your son's retarded. Something's wrong with this. Like he got this little retard out here." And it's just he is sold as this genius. Like his dad was like, if we get rid of white people, we won't have electric cars. No, we'll have better electric cars. But like look at China, look at Burkina Faso. They kicked European influence out less than 3 years ago, and they still had Western powers trying to overthrow them, stop their growth, and all that shit. But they still developed a solar powered car for their people before America. That's crazy. Um, but yeah, the right started accusing Mamdani and his wife of being a lavender marriage due to his religion after Lindsay Graham news hit. A lavender marriage, I don't know what that means. Like they smell good together. They put you to sleep. It's like a good like a nighttime bubble bath. They take a lot of bubble baths. I don't know what that means. Lavender is huh. Big fan, says Nate's vlogs. Much appreciated. Well, we're gonna be fighting that lawsuit. We're gonna bring Nate's vlogs back, as well as $1 billion for each year that the channel was shut down. And then I'm just gonna, like I said, just take the interest off of that. Just give the rest of housing. Give it to Elaine Brown's organization because she already knows how to build the infrastructure. She's faced some troubles with the Black Panther housing in Oakland being raided by police. But once we get my 12, now going on 13 billion because it's been 13 years since Lost Nate's vlogs. So let's just round it up, 13, 15 billion. Let's round it up. I like a round number. And I also donate some money to Lindsey Graham's family, his wife and his kids. Just we gotta figure it out. And it is interesting because there was all this hatred towards the Ayatollah in Iran. Our government made it seem like he's the worst person. If we kill him, they'll celebrate us as liberators. Like they hate this guy, and for all his faults, which I must assume there are many. Like he had, like when he died, he had like a public celebration. Like people came out, millions of people came out to support, show love. Because he didn't die in a pedophile bunker, or he wasn't mentioned in Epstein files at all. Um, and I know that's a low bar, but when like you look at American politicians, like most of them don't meet it, you know. And it's just like, yeah, the overthrow is close by. It's closer than you think. All it takes is one really pissed off, well informed person to meet a scumbag, vile piece of shit. Then they just like tear into him verbally, and then the people around him be like, "Oh, that asshole did this," and then it escalates. We have captive politicians, billionaires, running for their lives. They're running for the bunkers, but the people who set up the bunkers, they're giving out keys to like go in there. He didn't pay me all the money anyway, because we are the ones who set up the prison. We are the ones who are doing the AI programming. We're building the robots. Right? These motherfuckers, they have the ability to buy shit. They have no involvement with this creation. They just get to dictate the direction our technology goes in. So you might be like, robots are great. It would be nice to have a helper robot. Let's go watch iRobot and then let's reflect on how that might look. I think that's where they got a lot of their ideas. It's just like they see evil shit on movies because they have no real imagination. Like these people, they have access to ARPA, which became DARPA scientists. That's where a lot of the stuff, the technology we have right now was created with our tax dollars, right? And the people are not from this country. Like you gotta just understand uh, uh, the American education system is built on bullshit. Not only are your books from the Mossad, you get Mossad Hill or McGraw Hill. I get those mixed up, but you look at the imperial system. It makes us stupid when it comes to math. It's hard to conceptualize. How many inches are in 2 miles? How many feet are in 2 miles? Just like a foot in a mile. It's just like to do the calculations. It's like absurd when it comes to the metric system. It's like a moving of the decimal. To understand like the length between different sizes, weights, and so on and so forth. What? Okay. A lot of notifications on activity. I'm like, are these? All right. I'll focus on that later. All right. But um, yeah, no, yeah. So it's just like the like we're just taught from the cradle to the grave to be stupid, and the issue with a lot of people, um, like when I start talking about the myth that a lot of white people can buy into, it's like your cup gets filled with bullshit and you hold on to it because you think it serves you. But if you are a debt slave, it doesn't matter what the person looks like. And when we go into the actual history of where everything actually comes from, the creators don't look anything like you imagine. And that's why I hate the fucking the British so much. And the videos coming up on Netflix.net diving into some of the stuff, but I'll just let that speak for itself. But it is a lot of our class shit that we get as Americans. It comes from the British system. I mean, yeah, other European systems, but the British, they were just like, and it's just like the most you watch Game of Thrones. You see all the incest, the sick shit people do for power. You know, like the crazy is just like, and it gets deeper. Like you start really looking in our history. Epstein wasn't the first Epstein. It's all this cannibalism. It's all this sick shit for power, right? And you notice like when white people get initiated into the major system, like into that Illuminati area of the world, uh, they do it abusing power on Epstein Island. You know, like they like have a little beef jerky, some cheese pizza or whatever pepperoni, whatever they code word they got to use. Uh, but like when a black person get brought in, it's by way of a Diddy Island party. You know, it's like you getting baby oil, some big male sex worker, he penetrates you, and it's just like like you see like you've been one of the big club been to the Epstein Island. You see a really rich black person, like, oh yeah, they went to the Diddy Island. Yeah, I fucked them right there. And it's just like they got more. It's uh, you when you make it to a certain level, they make it so you can never get too uppity because somebody tearing that manhood out, or this is just one of the theories, one of the noticings. Lavender marriage is when two LGBT people uh, agree to enter into a legally straight marriage on paper. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know anything about Mom Donnie's romantic shit. I wouldn't give a shit about Lindsay Graham's situation if he wasn't being blackmailed. It's like actually someone who was questioning him while he was still alive. They'd be like, why don't you just come out and say you're gay so they can't blackmail you anymore? And he just scooted off. He has someplace to be. No doubt in a lady's vagina. Lindsay, he's tapping them skins. Like, oh my stars. Oh my stars, would you look at those jugs on her? No. R.I.P. R.I.P. Or R.I.P. R.I.P. Sorry. No. I don't celebrate anyone's death, but this motherfucker was in the Ukraine trying to stir up more shit like with Russia or with a war that he was trying to start since 2016. Him and R.I.P. John McCain. They were in the Ukraine talking about we're going to get America to care about you guys. And these were Nazis. Since then, we overthrew their democratically elected government, put in some Nazis, and it's just like all kinds of shit. The Nazis, they're very prevalent in all of Western society. That's why, like a switch, they could have that get people ready for a fucking race war. It's just like they got all this shit to just keep your eye off the ball, because if like we were actually attuned with the real enemy in this country, and we knew who to really focus all of our hate towards, we would be having a revolution. We'll look a lot more like Nepal or Albania, France. Like it's just like we just so afraid of our neighbors doing well that we just don't want to come together. But like I said, it's a shift. It's people waking up to it. Sadly, people got to go through it to get to it. You could tell someone something all the time, but they don't really know until they have an experience. And people have to experience rock bottom. Like really with the safety net of the American system, which is nothing, to understand like something needs to be done. But then, sadly, some people they continue to just have that bad mindset. Like I recently was talking about, I haven't been called a nigger in about a decade, and then it happened again recently. Both of the times it happened, it was a homeless dude, and it's just like I'm sure Like he just felt some kind of way. They just felt some kind of way. It's not like I'm sure that like people who got more still view me that way, but they'll never say it. Or they'll use coded language to say it. But yeah, and tragically, sometimes you just gotta be at the mercy of these motherfuckers. Remember, it was a dude standing outside just shouting crazy racist shit and calling me monkey and shit. But I had to leave my car out on the street, and I just like I gave him something to be nice because my window was busted already, and I just had like a towel covering it up, so it was like easy to break into and take my shit. So I just had to be trust a racist piece of shit, give him something, hope that he'd respect my shit. And I don't think he took anything. Hopefully he didn't. I didn't notice anything taken, but yeah, it's sometimes you gotta take leaps of faith, and a lot of the times, like people around me get real upset when people say racist shit, ignorant shit, and I'm of the belief I always try to quell that. I try to be cool when people say shit, I think I already told the story about my ex's friend's dad who was saying racist shit, and they were people around me were acting like it was just like the biggest deal. I was like, just like, nah, calm down. I'm not even upset. I had questions, because I want to, like question his understanding of the world because he was just saying crazy shit like, uh, first time I ever heard someone say, "You guys are going out to Portland and killing white people," and he said the first time I ever heard it, and I was like, in his mind, this is what black people are doing. Like they're coordinating some trip to Portland to get a pistol and just start. And I'm like, I was trying to figure out where the fuck did this come from? Um, how does one arrive at that conclusion? What about me? Did I have an I love Portland pin or no? I didn't have keep Portland weird. None of that shit was on me. But I thought it was just like fascinating. And when people around me are just like making a bigger deal, I don't want people to feel ashamed to speaking their mind. Even the whole Chet the Builder shit. Don't get me wrong. I was only convicted one time in my life. 14. I beat up a kid who pulled a gun on another kid in my neighborhood. I don't know if he called him a nigger or I didn't. I don't think it mattered. But yeah, so it's just like his intention of going in there starting this race war. That doesn't vibe with me at all. Like him, he could be calling black people cuddle bears, doodle bugs, or he have some cute euphemism, but the intention is bad. He was like, What is this about free speech? Bitch, don't talk about free speech, motherfucker." I lost multiple channels actually upholding free speech. Like speaking up against a treatment that Google was directly involved in profiting from that you couldn't speak ill about on their platform. I was still doing it. I was showing what they were doing in the Congress, how they were talking about the spike in cancer rates and all these other deleterious effects. Um, and it was yeah, I lost multiple channels doing that shit. And this motherfucker, he thinks free speech he's like, going into poor neighborhoods and calling people niggers and pulling a gun on them. Like, yeah, nah, it's different. That's silly. It's just like, what is the goal? And you notice a lot of these motherfuckers, they talk about IQ and all. First, if you're talking about average IQ and you're a white American, you're retarded. Like not just socially, not just a retard for the society. Like you're possibly mentally retarded. The average IQ in America, if you want to flex on some intellect, you would be like several standard deviations above the normal, right? Like once again, the system, like not only do you have the systemic shit, the metric system and the Masad Hill books, but you also have environmental, lead in your water, all the shit. It dulls the IQ. So like the people who are just like average IQ in America, it's not like a real flex. You got much poorer countries with a higher average IQ than the U.S. The U.S. IQ is just it's a sign of the waste, or the intentional uh, misunderstanding of the citizenry. Um, the CIA, they said their whole purpose was to make sure everything that Americans thought and believed was false. Um, and sometimes I feel like we're at critical mass when it comes to certain shit. Uh, I mean, when I see people like laundering just this dumbass talking points, it's just like if your cup is filled with bullshit, you're not prepared to spill it out in light of some truth. You're gonna have a bad time, and you're gonna be an obstruction to actual progress. Like ladybug, little ladybug Graham. Um, I live in Creswell, Oregon. I don't really know the crowds. You don't really know the crowds? I don't even know where Creswell is. I know Oregon. I know it's like Eugene. That's when you first enter from Cali. That was like interesting. 'Cause I didn't know Oregon was that racist, casually racist. And then I was in Eugene. I think it was Eugene. Eugene is by the border, whatever the closest border one. And I was like stopping to get some gas, get something to eat. And dude was on the phone with his mom. He was like, uh, um, yeah, the nurse is cool. I'll see if we can get you a white one. The Filipino, she's just always around there and just making me feel uncomfortable. And I'm like, so the caretaker, you got a problem with the caretaker because they're Filipino. And I was just like, and it's just like your racist ass dying mom. No, maybe white people don't want to deal with her ass. And they just like, get a brown one to do it. I don't know. But it was just kind of an interesting conversation to catch up on. And then when I got to like Portland, I was like, I had a bunch of um, white people who were like, they were like being the best. Like they always like, oh, you seem so cool. It's just, you shouldn't really be here because Portland, it's so racist. It's got really racist history. You should probably get out of here. And it was like multiple people who were just like, oh, you're so cool. These other people, they're racist. You should get out of here. I was like, something weird about that. why are so many just maybe they knew something like like the Nolan Wells guy, stuff like that may have been going on in secret. I know they had like it was like a portal for like abducting people to like Shanghai to get them to do slave labor in different parts of the country or the world. Uh, but yeah, uh, um, Portland was an interesting experience, but Oregon. Uh, uh, that's why I got familiar with the sovereign movement too, and then I have family who were like, don't talk about it, because it was like people who were involved with it who were getting shot, but it was tax benefits, I suppose. Uh, but I don't roll in those crowds. What crowds are those? Huh? Carbon life forms? Are you carbon phobic? Or I don't know what crowds. Like I said, Creswell. It's hard for me to where I don't even know where that is, but that's close by. Creswell sounds like it'd be like by like it'd be close to New Mexico. It'd be like the Creswell landing where there's the alien sightings. Um, but yeah, I was considering making a trip by car through the land of Oregon. I do have a cousin who stays out there. Maybe I can get like better insight on the black people killing white people stuff. I don't know. Um, but I would assume that's not his life. He's probably one of the whitest black dudes I know. but Yeah, and yeah, there will be new employee evaluations. Netflix.net. Stay tuned if you haven't already. I have a issue with the Patreon. I'll be sorting out, and we're gonna be doing the giveaways. So we got World Cup flair issues aside. If you like Bosnia or Herzegovina, that's your shit. Uh, and other stuff. Got Kendrick shirt from Kendrick Lamar's um, highest grossing the highest grossing show in hip hop. It was a shirt from there. Gonna be giving that out to Patreon supporters. So go there if you haven't. And well, I do got to sort out some account shit. I got like a weird email. Could be a scam, but yeah, stay tuned. Don't forget to be good to each other. Peace. Oh, and RIP Ladybug. Oh yeah, the evaluations. You want to see the new, the old, Netflix.net. Or I mean, there's also it's. I find it easier to categorize the stuff on to find search it on Odyssey.com. ODYSEE.com/ at symbol Netflix. Yeah, so that has all the stuff that was on my YouTube channel. The Netflix YouTube channel before it was taken down. It was backed up over there. And the more you watch it, the more I can upload. So it's like this weird thing. You have like you have to get so many points before you can upload. So I haven't been up to date on the releasing the newer stuff over there. That's rumble.com/Netflix or Netflix.net for the time being. And uh, um, yeah, but the more you go over to Odyssey, more I see the activity. That means the more I have the ability to create content. Or in my case, I got a lot of content I haven't just brought over there because you got to get more points. So Odyssey, if you haven't already, it's an alternative to YouTube. If you haven't, delete it. YouTube. YouTube is garbage. Um, when I saw the title, I was like, oh no, not Ladybug from Diggable Planets. But when I saw it was Lindsay Graham, I was like, oh well. No, not Ladybug, Diggable Planet. No, he got the name Ladybug from having his planet digged out. Because he had if you don't know the story, I'm just gonna it's a cute one. It is so cute how he got the nickname Ladybug. Um, he it was a male prostitute who thought he had a dirty taint. Start to clean it, realize those are bumps, like some kind of a rectal wart. It's like a whole series of them, from his rectum to his nutsack. We couldn't clean away all the little uh, uh, warts. Lindsay was like, "Don't worry, those are my little ladybugs." And yeah, it was released after non-disclosure agreements were ended. Someone saw him on the news when he was against gay marriage, and they were like, "Oh, that's the guy who was had me cleaning his ladybugs." It's a male sex worker, but obviously he was only cleaning Lindsay's taint in preparation for a woman, because Lindsay Graham, known ladies' man, and this is something we do not um, we can't take away from him. Serial player, serial. He was Beyonce's side piece. It was a whole thing with Jay's. He was at a Diddy party, but in a non-gay way. He was getting while they were dudes were fucking each other. He was fucking all the women. So Lindsay, I mean, hate him or love him, you gotta acknowledge the player status. like he was motorboating, just like, give me them titties. I like those titties. Those titties sit nice in my face. Quite perky breasts, ma'am. Motorboat them. I want. Let me sit on my face. Look, you cute. Look, I want to see that little balloon knot in your axe slit. Slit knot. That's what I call it. R.P. to Lindsay. Lindsay. I know he's getting some Israel aid in hell right now, or in another plane. What's your channel name on Odyssey? @ Nateflix. It's Nateflix, but you could just go odyssey.com/ @ Nateflix. They don't do just slash and then the name. Yeah. I need to update some stuff, make it easier to find all of the content, catalog it better. Yeah, so it's like you got that. So I used to have the playlist set up on a website where it was you can just stream all the employee evaluations, all the rewinds, but it's harder to do, now that I lost my channels. So I don't have the chronological order of a lot of shit. So, yeah, interesting. One of the many nuances and problems that comes up for a revolutionary being silenced for being right. That's the most frustrating part about everything. Like Lindsay Graham, one of the things I'm kind of grateful for all these countries taking credit for killing them, because it was a video I posted where it was just like it ended with Lindsey Graham being carried off by a crowd of people, and just it could be taken a certain way in this climate, And ironically, I was wearing the mask that was recently made popular by the couple. They climbed the New York building, and then they planted the flag and got the proposal. Yeah, I was wearing the mask before they saw my video. They copied me, and somebody killed Lindsey Graham. I feel like I'm being set up for something. So just in case, I might need an alibi. Anybody out there? I was also found like about 15 minutes away from where Lindsey Graham was killed, and I had a one of those Dexter-like vials, the little samples where he kept it. But I had a different. It was blood. It matched Lindsey Graham's, but it wasn't his. It was like I found it when I was on a hike, and I need an alibi. Anybody out there? Just like I was Luigi Mangioni's alibi. I verified for being with him, and right now we're working the case. And I might need someone to have my back, like I had his, before I catch heat. Watched you since early employee evaluation days as a teenager. I'm happy to see you're still active, man. Man, you gotta. I'm my purpose is to see a lot of the people, the really smug shitheads. Like when I was living in LA, dealing with the not only the fuck full screen, which got bought up by AT&T, not only the Google teams and all of the really just sickly, arrogant, worthless people. It's the same people when they had the writer strike at the same time as the actor strike. Who are they striking against? It's these worthless motherfuckers. All right. I will always continue to exist until I see these motherfuckers brought to justice. That's like the Epstein class. That's all of the sickness, and they're so arrogant. They assume that they're better. They contribute nothing to society, but they have all the money and they get the green light, all entertainment. They get to decide who gets shut down. yeah, so I'm gonna stay active until you see me. Either I got a head on a pike or they're locked up in the justice system, and I can go verify that they're locked up, spit in their face if I want to, tell them they're pieces of shit. Anyone could reach out to them. You know how like you had all these people telling you have to get this shot, you have to do this if you want to work. You wish you could have told them like, well, fuck you. Who the fuck are you? You're not a doctor, you know. And it's the same people that are talking about DEI hires. Like Bill Gates is a DEI doctor. Motherfucker, no knowledge of anything. Just I just have that kind of power. Uh, uh, Elon Musk, he's a DEI astrophysicist. Contributes nothing. He just gets to own everything. Learns their language and takes credit for other people's creation, and prevents us from having much better alternatives. Pieces of garbage. Yeah. So until I see that all this shit, this facade of an empire crumble, you'll see me active. Your video shaped my comedic taste for sarcasm. Even got my dad to watch with me. That was crazy. I've had a few families who watch me together. Often, which is awesome because it's one of the free bonding moments we share. Yeah, that was like one of the eye-opening moments for me. I was doing a tour like back in 2010. And then we got around Detroit, and dad and son came out, and the son was like little, like he was like 10 or under 10. He was like very young. And he was like quoting my shit, and just made me hella aware of language. I was like, oh shit, I got kids. And his dad was like, they were just watching it together. Yeah, but it was yeah. And the stories, they were heartwarming. I was just surprised because I know I used some very salty language. But you know, I try to build in the messages, saying something. You know, it's like it's like the people talking about free speech for what do you call it, the Chud the Builder to say nigger. I was actually trying to get a white person to say nigger. I wanted what's his name? Not Thomas Freeman. He was a radio host. I was trying to get him to remake the nigger please from that they made as a skit on Boondocks, but it was like from an actual clip. I was trying to get him to say it. I thought it would be hilarious to hear the white dude say it. You know, because I know he that's not on his heart. You know, I always view any word. It's like Thor's Mjolnir. You know, you have to be worthy to hold it. You know, you have to be pure of heart to be able to carry it. Like I said, if you call if you come in with a certain intent, doesn't matter if you're calling them people honey bunny or whatever. It's just like your intent is bad. And it's just like, yeah, you should just remove yourself. It's not, you are just a retard for society. And you also suffer from Dunning-Kruger syndrome. It's when you're too dumb to comprehend your own ineptitude, too stupid to understand you're stupid. That's why it's just like you don't see what you call it, people in lab coats putting down their microscopes, like just like, oh, you know what? Niggers ain't shit. They're inferior. It's not like smart people. It's not like people taking time, like someone who has an intellectual flex where they can be like, you know what? I designed this, and I do. It's like people who do nothing, and they think that one certain phenotype, they can transmit all of their good qualities. And it's just like, not one white person did this. All of us, we did all of the good. And then all of the non-whites, they only can share the bad qualities. Everything is just like, they're fraudsters, they're scam artists, they're thieves, they're rapists. And it's just like, well, how was this land conquered? Um, and you know how it was conquered? We had a bunch of ladybug Lindsay Grahams, hard, rough, morally upstanding people. They were shouting, "Kill them all! Kill the kids! I get them, wipe them, salt the earth so nothing can grow. I want to see them starve." Western values. Western values. We'll show them how to be civilized. Um, yeah. So R.I.P. Ladybug. Uh, may the story of the ladybug live on for many years longer. Uh, the clearly just way too heterosexual man who was against gay marriage. That's because he's just always he's bugging the ladies with the ladybugs. On Odyssey, it's the channel Nateflicks, no X. Nateflicks. Let me see if I got. There you go. All right, catch me. I'm gonna go see how many points I've accumulated on Odyssey. I probably got ability to make some new uploads, and I got new uploads to make. So stay tuned for those. Nateflix.net. Don't forget to be good to each other. Oh, Nate, can I borrow a fry? Can a fella get a pencil? Yeah. Hey man, never let them silence you. Never will. All right. Be good to each other. Peace.